Welcome back to our devotion that we've been doing every day for the last couple weeks here through the book of Mark. We are finishing chapter 10 today. We're just going to go straight to it this morning. So if you could join me in Mark chapter 10, starting in verse 35, and we're going to finish out the chapter today. And James and John, the sons of Zebedee, came up to him and said to him, "Teacher, we want you to do for us whatever we ask of you." And he said to them, "What do you want me to do for you?" And they said to him, "Grant us to sit, one at your right hand and one at your left, in your glory." Jesus said to them, "You do not know what you are asking. Are you able to drink the cup that I drink, or to be baptized with the baptism with which I am baptized?" And they said to him, "We are able." And Jesus said to them, "The cup that I drink you will drink, and the baptism with which I am baptized you will be baptized. But to sit at my right hand or at my left is not mine to grant, but it is for those of whom it has been prepared." And when the 10 heard it, they began to be indignant at James and John. And Jesus called them to him and said to them, "You know that those who are considered rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and their great ones exercise authority over them. But it shall not be so among you. But whoever would be great among you must be your servant. And whoever would be first among you must be slave of all. For even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as ransom for many." And they came to Jericho, and as he was leaving Jericho with his disciples and a great crowd, Bartimaeus, a blind beggar, the son of Timaeus, was sitting by the roadside. And when he heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to cry out and said, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." And many rebuked him, telling him to be silent. But he cried out all the more, "Son of David, have mercy on me." And Jesus stopped and said, "Call him." And they called the blind man, saying to him, "Take heart, get up, he is calling you." And throwing off his cloak, he sprang up and came to Jesus. And Jesus said to him, "What do you want me to do for you?" And the blind man said to him, "Rabbi, let me recover my sight." And Jesus said to him, "Go your way, your faith has made you well." And immediately he recovered his sight and followed him on the way. So reading today's passage, I got two thoughts that just instantly come to mind, and they both actually come after the ending of each of these segments. So going back to that first one, it's where James and John are asking to sit at Jesus' right and left hand side, right? And the whole teaching moment that Jesus has there is he wants them to realize that we are to serve people. You know, we're not to be served by others. Part of this Christian walk is loving. That's a big chunk of it, is just loving people. And one of the best ways that we can do that is to serve them. And it even says, "For even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." And so when I look at Jesus as my example, as how I should be treating people, my first thinking here, my first thought is, wow, we've got this king who came down from heaven onto earth, and he's saying, "I don't want you to serve me, I'm here to serve." That flips my whole world upside down. That flips my thinking all around, just to think that, no, Jesus isn't here so that we could serve him. He's here to serve us. Not only to serve us, but to be a ransom and to die so that we could be saved. Like, this is, again, a king. He is a Lord. He was there since the beginning of time. He created it all, right, with God in the perfect Trinity and triune relationship. And he's there, and now he's saying, "I'm going to come down to earth and be with these people and live like them and walk like them. And they're not going to serve me, but I'm going to serve them." And to me, that's just humbling to see that our God was willing to do that. That should humble us to see the humility that he had to come down and serve, to come down and wash the disciples' feet in the way that he did, to go around constantly just healing people. You know, am I serving other people? Not like a servant, but am I actually going out of my way to help them, to be love to them? You know, so that's my first thought, and that comes at the end of that first passage. And at the end of the second passage, it says, Jesus is saying to the blind man after he was healed, "Go your way, your faith has made you well." And through this story, what I find really cool is this blind beggar just completely believes that Jesus is going to heal him. Like, without a doubt, he knows, like, if I just get to Jesus, I'm going to be healed. Do we have that kind of faith? Do we have that same faith that actually healed this man? This man was healed because of his faith, Jesus said. Do I have the kind of faith that I just expect things of Jesus because of who he is? That I just know things are going to turn out, things are going to be okay because I serve Jesus? Even in this time of the virus, do you know everything is going to be okay with your family, whether it's financial trouble, whether it's you're not having a job, or anything that you guys can be worried about right now with this crisis? Are you so worried about the crisis that you're forgetting who your God is? Or do you not have that faith that God is going to bring you through? I mean, this is God we're talking about. He's bigger than a virus. He's bigger than anything else we can even think of. We can't think of a big enough box for God to be in. He is so big. He's so much greater, so much more powerful than we can imagine. And this story just reminds me that I need to be living my life every day remembering I serve a great God, a great, awesome, powerful God that I can believe in and I can trust and I can have faith that he is for me and that he is with me every single day, and he's with you guys every single day. So today, why don't you just spend some time in prayer thinking about that? Ask God to show you how great he truly is. And then spend some time listening to his response to that and just write those things down. Write down the reasons why God is so awesome. As he reveals those to you, just write down God is awesome because, and fill in that blank, and just spend some time thinking about that. So thank you again for joining me today. We'll go back at it tomorrow as we start chapter 11. We're winding down on the book of Mark, so stay with me here, guys. We're almost done. So thanks again. And I will see you guys tomorrow.